Hello, this is your real estate tip of the week. I'm Lisa Takis with Align Right Realty Riverview, broker owner, and happy to give you some tips. Today, I want to talk about the listing agreement and the clear cooperation policy that we've heard so much about this last year. There's a lot of training that goes on it, but with the listing agreement, what I've seen a lot of errors are what to put on the first section that talks about the listing page. So one of the things that you have to remember is if you are working with a listing and they sign the listing agreement today, but they're not going to list it for 2 weeks, you can put in section 1 under the exclusive right of sale, authority to sell property, section 1, you are going to have the beginning date, the date they actually want to list it. So for instance, everyone signs it today, say it's, June 7th, but I know I'm not listing it to June 30th. You do not need a temporary exclusion because you're not listing it till June 30th. Now, if you do list it before, you do have that 24-hour rule that you must do that. I'm sorry, or if you market it any time before. But when you do your listing agreement, have everybody sign the listing agreement, but in section 1, it's the actual date you anticipate to list it, as long as you list it within 5 business days of that date. If it's going to be longer than that, that's when you'll go ahead and get a temporary exclusion form for that listing. So just really quick, when you're doing your listing, you can go ahead and get it signed that day, put a date in of the anticipated listing date when you're going to market it in MLS if you are. Then when that date comes, if it's 2 weeks, 3 days, what have you, if you're not going to list it at that date, because you only have 5 days, 5 business days from that date, excluding weekends and holidays. So make sure you get that temporary exclusion. If for some reason you start posting it on Facebook, you have 24 hours to get it in MLS before you can get that fine. So be careful of the clear cooperation policy, but note, get your listing agreement signed, put in that date on section 1, whatever the listing date is that you anticipate to list it, and then go ahead and monitor that date and make sure from that date you have 5 days to enter it into MLS. That's the tip of the week for how to put your listing agreement and make sure you're in compliance. Have a great one.